This promises to be the viral sensation that could completely reset how we do things.
The AI chatbot.
GPT is a type of artificial intelligence.
The use of the technology to interfere with election integrity is a significant area of concern.
My worst fears are that we, the field, the technology, the industry, cause significant harm to the world. I think that could happen in a lot of different ways. I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong, and we want to be vocal about that. We want to work with the government to prevent that from happening.
I think his Oppenheimer moment is more like an Oppenheimer 6 months, right? So he's still in he's still reeling from the impact of their decision to make such a wild tool openly available. For decades, companies have been introducing artificial intelligence into their processes, and they do this in a very measured and regular way, so that they'd find a technique that works with AI, they'd slowly road test it on some of their users, they find it as overall a good thing, and then they would introduce it. Not with any sort of, bells and whistles and fireworks, it would just happen. So we've had the development of AI creeping into our services, and this has all been for good. And OpenAI then completely turned it on its head by saying, we have a technique for AI. Do you know what we'll do? We'll release it to the whole world. What? And we release it untested. What? And we release it so it can do mad things altogether. It's a chatbot. You're supposed to have a conversation with the chatbot, as in I talk, you talk, I talk, you talk. But let's do it so it can generate thousands of words. It can generate essays. It can generate scripts. Let's give it all of its things. And should we test this? Should we see if the world is ready for it? Should we consider any downsides? Nah, let's just release it anyway. All of the other companies in the tech sector, like Microsoft and Google and Meta and Spotify and all the others, probably all went, faceplant. Why did they do that? Because they've now sullied the reputation of this form of artificial intelligence.
I'm a bit concerned about it, to be honest. I think the problem with it is the technology has advanced far quicker than the law has. So who's controlling the process? Is it the people making the money out of it, or is it society?
It's just scary, and it's so much harder now to tell what's AI and what's not. Like, there was only that Irish Times article that was mostly written by AI the other time. That just got through, no questions asked.
You're taking away 20, 30, maybe 50% of all jobs across 20 years. What's going to happen? Our economic, our social, our political system is not set up for that.
People need to work, and if AI starts taking all the jobs, it's grand to talk about productivity, but there's no point in having the most productive economy in the world and people unemployed.
A family member, young guys, in college, all working in the AI industry, I guess, so they kind of make fun of me because they think there's nothing to worry about.
I can't think of a single regulation that would actually work. You can't put the genie back in a bottle. Question is, can we get from this world to a world with AI everywhere without hurting a lot of people in the process?
A couple of weeks ago, Geoffrey Hinton, one of the godfathers of AI, resigned his position in Google, and it became a news thing, right? It became, global headlines. And Hinton's concern was that Google would now start to undercut themselves and would start to adapt the kind of brashness and rashness that OpenAI have introduced that I mentioned earlier. And this same Geoff Hinton, in 2016, he said that the world should stop training radiologists because within 5 years, as in 2 years ago, machine learning, or a form of artificial intelligence, would be able to do a much better job than people could do. And there are now, 7 years later, more practicing radiologists in the US than ever before. Now, AI has helped them to do their job, has made their job more efficient, more effective, and more productive. But it hasn't made them redundant. In fact, there's more of them now than there were previously. It's not going to make us redundant. It's not going to turn us into useless people. It's going to transform and change the nature of our jobs. And that's just what happens anyway.